Hi BookTube, it's Missy, and today I'm going to be giving you guys my wrap up for the eARC read-a-thon for August, which was in the theme middle grade. I read 8 books in total, and I will start off with the 4 books from the series of Unfortunate Events by Lemony Snicket. All 4, is it in order? Yep, there's the order. So we have The Bad Beginning, The Reptile Room, The Wide Window, and The Miserable Mill. This is the first time that I've read these books, and the first one, The Bad Beginnings, I gave this book a 4 out of 5 stars on Goodreads. I was actually really disgusted about the whole Count Olaf thing, and I couldn't imagine this could possibly be a kid's book because of all of the life-threatening and kind of gruesome, torturous kinds of things that Count Olaf wants to do to the children. I mean, he's really mean, and there's a little bit of abuse going on, and just he put a baby in a bird cage out on a windowsill. She's an infant. I don't understand. And so my first impression of these books were like, oh my gosh, I let my 9-year-old read this. I don't know why I let him do that. But the books afterwards aren't as gruesome as the first one, and so it gets a lot better. Also, there is a theme in all the books, and if you haven't read these before, Lemony Snicket kind of spoils you in the beginning, like on the very first page, saying that these are unfortunate events. Nothing is going to be a happy ending or a happy beginning or a happy middle. So just know that there's going to be death and misery in all of these books. And so throughout all 4 of these books, Count Olaf is involved in scheming and trying to get the the Baldiers. I think that's how they say their last name, but there is Sunny and Klaus and Violet. Violet's the oldest, Klaus is the middle, and Sunny is the baby. And Count Olaf is trying to steal their fortune. Their parents are dead, and they left them a lot of money. And so all of these books, Count Olaf is trying to figure out a way to get to their money. And the kids have to figure out what his scheme is and how to get out of it and convince everybody that it's Count Olaf in disguise and how he needs to be arrested and sent to jail so they can live happily ever after. I cannot wait to read the rest of these books, even though it's the same in each story where Count Olaf is still trying to figure out a way to get to this fortune. It's always a different disguise and a different scheme, and so it keeps the storyline interesting. I also love that Lemony Snicket talks about words that are like kind of big for a middle grader, and he like will say the word and then he'll give like a definition of the word that makes sense in the book, so you can read it a lot easier. So there's no like stopping and looking up the word or asking a parent, hey, what's this word mean, or just skipping the word in general and then not even caring about what the word was. He explains it all in the book, and I really, really like that. So not only are you getting a horrible, miserable story, but you're also learning at the same time. So I did like these books, so I gave the first one a 4, the second one a 4, the third one a 5, because that one was really good, and the fourth one was kind of slow, and Count Olaf wasn't a very good disguise, and you don't really get to see him till the very end, so I gave that one a 4. But I really liked The Wide Window. I enjoyed that one. So those were the first 4 books that I read in the read-a-thon. The next book that I read is A Wrinkle in Time by Madeleine L'Angels, and it was adapted by Hope Larson. This is the first time I have read this book. It was really, really good. I gave this a 5 out of 5 stars on Goodreads, I believe. It's about a girl named Meg and her brother Charles Wallace. They are both kind of misfits in the town that they live in. They're really, really smart, both of them, but they're both awkward at the same time, and so people tend to ignore them or think bad things about them. One day, the brother, Charles Wallace, who I want to say he's like 4 or 5, I don't think they say it in the book, but he meets 3 women, which, who, and what's it. Those are the 3 women that he meets, and he introduces them to his sister and a neighbor boy, Calvin O'Keefe. And they all get together and they decide that they're going to try and rescue Meg's father, who has been missing for quite a while. And come to find out, he's in a different, like, solar system, like a different planet. And so this is a science fiction book. It's about like time travel, but not necessarily time travel, almost like wormhole traveling, where, you know, it teaches you a little bit about how you can bend time and space in order to get to places faster without, you know, going the speed of light. It's also about bravery and, you know, sticking to what you believe in and not letting people get you down. And I kind of compared it on Goodreads to Jonathan Livingston Seagull in the way that it was sort of religious based. And I just really, really enjoyed this book. I'm probably totally doing a horrible job in reviewing it, but I will leave the links below to my Goodreads review if you would like to read that. Next, I haven't finished it yet. As you can see, I started The Girl Who Circumnavigated Fairyland in a Ship of Her Own Making by Kathleen Valenti, and it's so whimsical that I had a really hard time reading it. And not only that, but I was trying to get through the other books, and so I kept putting this one down. It is very, very whimsical. Like, every word is colorful. So not only are you trying to just get through a paragraph, but it's so colorful you're visualizing every aspect of the book. So I really think that this would be an excellent animation, like a claymation or just any animation in general. This should be it, because it is so, like, the language is so pretty, but because of all of the flowery goodness, it's really hard to get through. And I definitely want to finish this up this month, because I have the 2nd and 3rd book that I need to read as well, that I'm hoping I can get through by the end of the year. The last 3 books that I want to talk about is, and that one is a eARC, and it's also a graphic novel that I downloaded from NetGalley. I will leave the link down below if you would like to see if you wanted to check it out on the website. Because it is an eARC for the computer, obviously I don't have a physical copy to show you. It was really, really good. It was only like 96 pages, but all of the illustrations were gorgeous, and it was written by Eric Orchard? Probably saying his name wrong. I'll look it up and leave his name here in the video, but he is an illustrator and author, but this is his first graphic novel, and it's just really, really amazing. It's about a girl who, you know, one night she's sleeping and her parents get turned into rats, and so she goes on an adventure to find the Thimble Witch so that way she can turn her parents back into humans, and along the way she meets some really cool animal characters that talk, and they're really fun, and again, the illustrations are so pretty. I just couldn't stop gushing about the illustrations. The 2nd eARC that I read from NetGalley is The 14th Goldfish, and I will leave down the links below to my Goodreads page, because I don't know if I'll be able to do it justice talking to you guys. It is about a girl named Ellie who lives with her mom in San Francisco. She's 12, and she wakes up one morning and her goldfish is dead, and she's like thinking, oh my gosh, it lasted so long. I've had it since kindergarten, and she's in 5th grade now. And the mom tells her, I'm sorry, sweetie, but that goldfish is actually the 13th one. It's been replaced over the years because it just kept dying. And the reason why she got the goldfish in the first place is because her teacher was trying to teach her about the cycle of life and how there is a beginning and an end and life and death, and you know, just to get the kids to realize that life doesn't last forever. So when just looking at the cover of the book, you might have a sense of, oh, this is going to be a cutesy animal book, maybe about a talking goldfish, but it's nothing like that. It's about science and about how scientists and inventors and doctors, they all come up with these theories and test them, and then they get their inventions patented or their vaccines patented, and then they help our future by, you know, having a vaccine for polio or discovering radioactivity. And so throughout the book you're learning about all this stuff, and the really cool part is Ellie gets interested in science through her grandfather and discovers that she wants to kind of be a scientist too, and she looks at the pros and cons of each discovery that was made. Maybe this shouldn't have been done. So it's a lot about life and death. It's like a very deep book for a middle grade. I truly enjoyed it. That was another 5-star book for me. And yeah, all the information will be down below. That one was from Jennifer Holm, H-O-L-M, Holm. And the very last book that I read was Sever, the third book in the Chemical Garden trilogy by Lawrence DeStefano. And this book was kind of disappointing, kind of not. I mean, I did enjoy it. I didn't expect some of the things to happen that happened, and so I was bummed out about that. But overall, the book was good. If you like dystopian, I would definitely check this one out. I think I've told you guys before, it's about girls who die at 20 and boys who die at 25. There's no cure for this age defect. Doctors are trying to figure out a way to let the kids live longer, but the children just keep dying, and it's actually pretty gruesome what some people do to continue with their experiments and finding the cure. So this is one of those dystopians I definitely would not want to live in. It was really scary, and the girls especially had to deal with a lot of crap. So those were the 8 books that I read during the eARC read-a-thon. Let me know down below what you guys read, and did you enjoy the middle grade theme? I certainly did. That's all for now. Thanks for watching and have a wonderful week. Bye!